running a bit of an experiment on what kind of a boulder you can create with a £50 budget versus a £5,000 budget. This is George. George, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about George Lonsdale.
My name's George. I'm the head setter for the climbing hangar Matchworks and the climbing hangar Sandhills in Liverpool. I've been climbing for something like 15 years and setting for 5.
Okay.
And in that time, set all around the country, lots of different climbing hangars.
So today we are at Matchworks in Liverpool, and we wrote George in for a bit of a route setting challenge.
My hypothesis is that I reckon I can create a good boulder with
With
whatever.
both, okay.
Maybe something that's a bit more showy-offy.
With the
more expensive one.
ones.
Yeah, I think that's the one I'm most excited for. So yeah, they're all the same brand. These are all Squadra Fitchels, varying in which ones they are and how much they cost. Because we're setting the expensive one, I feel like we should also do something that's like quite showy, a bit of a showpiece block. And the pink circuit's our World Cup circuit.
I was going to say, I recognise a lot of these holds from the Hangar Sheffield and the pink World Cup circuit, which typically, as you'd expect from a World Cup circuit, is a lot of throwing yourself around, and slapping around for things. So.
Right, so let's see if we can do something like that. We stick that one like down here, straight away, that's like a good platform. This one, what's this one? Fitchel number 5, which is a good hold, but it's not good enough. It's not like a really in-cut jug, somewhere like there. And making a move up to that, but not being able to stop on it and having to paddle through to something that's a little bit better, and then you could stop on that.
Both the boulders that we have to set have to be something that you would sign off for public consumption. Like they can't just be sticking the most expensive holds on the wall and calling it the most expensive.
They have to be commercially viable because we are leaving them on the wall afterwards.
They'll be real climbs.
Yeah, like we're going to leave it up for the customers, and this will only get reset next time we reset this zone.
Okay, it's got to be good then.
So it's got to be good, yeah, that's the challenge. Right, so.
George said that each hold was like £300, like GBP. So we're nearly at £1,000.
We need a move into that. We might have to do the cardinal sin that I already said I don't like doing, which is
mix up the holds.
Yeah, we call it goulash in here. Yeah, 2 jugs there. Hup, hup, hup. Hit this one. Stop on something down there. Let's put that on. That one, the wrong way round, might just be good enough, and if it's not, that one could be. That could work. I can kind of see that. It might be a little bit high. Maybe we need to move it down a bit, but that's fine. It's on the wall. We're kind of building like the skeleton of it. Nice. Right. So let's stick the bad foot on first. So that one's going to go. It's actually going to turn this one into a 3. Let's see. I think
ribs or something.
Yeah, I can see that, like on a fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you've drawn like a skeleton fish out.
Yeah.
And then the last move, we want to go and have like a big committing move over onto this. So we'll stick that on. For starting holds, we obviously don't want it to be super, super hard. But we also want the move to be forced. Something like the X-Cult horns, they're a little bit dusty, could be really good, but on that steep angle they might be quite difficult to hold, but I think that's a good one to try. Like this. Oh my gosh, that one's rubbish. Like that kind of thing.
I mean, that didn't look a million miles away in your trainers. Yeah.
Oh! See? Something like that. That was so sick. I think this could work and just need like really, really tiny tweaks now.
Would you say that is kind of like almost, not quite final form, but pretty much like the
Yeah, 100%. Like the climb is there, the moves are like working-ish. They all need like very, very minor tweaks, like a little bit like fine tuning just to get it right. I think we are looking at like yellow grade for the Hangar.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, Lord.
so what's that? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 levels that we have.
But before we try the boulder, we're going to head around now to our vertical piece of wall. And George is going to set a boulder with less budget. So now we've got a £50 budget. And George is going to see what creation he can whip up on the flat wall.
Say goodbye to big macros. Yeah. The hold store. If we are looking at holds that are less expensive, we forget about the big stuff.
Yeah.
And we need to start looking at, slide that one over, some smaller holds. Now,
oh, I like this one.
There's a few different things for us to look at. So we're looking at blues. Blues are like one of the easier circuits for us. So we don't want to go too ratty, because something like that, I mean, it's barely even a hold, like something like that on a slab is going to feel really, really small. So we want to go a little bit more generous than that. Something like these core, I think they're actually called footholds from core, but they're really, really comfortable in cut crimps if they're that way up. Or like quite flat edges, which on the angle that we're looking at, maybe a flat edge might be better than an in-cut one. Yeah. So you will have to kind of still move around a little bit.
I guess they make quite good feet too.
Yeah.
They're quite positive.
Right, so you can even like recycle them.
How do we feel about volumes?
How do we feel about volumes? I feel great about volumes.
Okay.
Oh, how much are these ones? Screw-ons 20mm, screw-ons 30mm. We're talking about £40 for a set of those, and there's
how many in a set? 16
in a set. So that's still within budget though, isn't it? This is actually a good shopping basket. So £20 plus
ding, ding.
Another £12, so that's 32.
You've still got some to play with.
32. That's the budget.
This is it. This is the paint.
Volumes are always an added expense, right? But they do form part of the wall, which means that no matter what colour climb you're on, you can use the volumes. Is it a get out of jail free card to say that if we put these on, we can also set a cool boulder later on more expensive holds, and then the volumes are there for that one?
Well, that's the thing. You have to like divide the cost of the volume by the amount of climbs that are on the wall.
Whoa, this is some complex math now.
At the minute, there's no climbs on the wall, so.
What I'm hoping is that shouldn't, is like you still smeary, but not too smeary that a blue climber, which we have to remember is like someone who's still relatively new to climbing, isn't going to be like too sketched out by that. And if they are, then maybe we add like something on it to bring that like risk level back down a little bit. I'm just going to throw these on and see if we can make something that looks cool. Does that look cool?
Looks very cool.
Fairly cool, I'll take that. And what I'm quite conscious of as well is, so the angles are really good on this side, but then it's because it's quite flat on this side, I don't want them to be vertical, because then that's a really good foothold for someone. The volumes have kind of dictated somewhat like the direction of the climb, right? So if we start underneath, we move into this volume, have a transition, turn around, move up this way. We're done, we're at the top of the wall. So I'm going to use these footholds because we've got the pockets that will make really good hands. Step up onto the next one. These ones have like an in-cut side and a flat side. Because we're on a slab, if you're in like soft higher shoes, in-cut side sometimes feels a little bit stabby. I think straight away I feel like I want a foot down there, just like when I'm pulling on. and maybe we could get like another pocket in one of the bolt holes on the volume to make our first move. And then we're going to walk up the feet this way. It'd be cool to try and do it with like as little hands as possible, because we're on a slab, so we can try and get people to balance a little bit. And then we'll have them transition that way.
Okay.
I didn't think it was that kind of YouTube channel. Good question.
Yeah.
There's the risk factor.
Ooh, does feel risky.
Cool. So the climb works, but it certainly didn't look perfect, but I think it's not far off and just needs like a few kind of fine tuning tweaks. So the first move, you kept your foot on the foothold when you reached for it.
Yeah,
rather than like standing up. So what I want to do is make sure that everyone can keep their foot on that foothold.
Yeah.
So I think it just needs to come up higher again, so that when you stand up into it, rather than having to like pop over for it, you can be like this. So it's like a little bit higher. Do you know what I mean? Like a little bit higher already. So your hips are higher straight away. Yeah, I think that was a good tweak.
Yeah.
Ooh. Play around with it. I think the toe up could work, you know. We could try moving the foot up. Or even like give you something like this to bounce your foot up into.
Yeah. That wouldn't be helpful for the start.
Yeah, right, and not good enough that you would be able to release on it.
Yeah.
Right, like that's, you see like having your foot higher, like definitely changed that move, didn't it?
Wait.
Oh. Yeah, it is, for sure.
Yeah, it does. Oh.
I think that foot needs to, I think there's two things, like trying to test two different moves at once, I think. So let's swap out the horn for the really good in-cut pocket. So the evolution is the hands, the horn hands were not good enough to be able to generate the right amount of momentum in the direction that we wanted to go at the level that we wanted to do it. So we've tweaked it. We've used a slightly less cool hold, don't get me wrong, which may take down the overall price of the boulder a little bit. We didn't consider that, but it's made the climb better.
Okay.
And as we keep saying, these are staying up, so the climbs have to be like both really good, expensive, but also still has to be right. So we put that on as an undercut. Oops. Bring the foot up. Like this one, because of the scoop on it, you end up like nestling your fingers in, and it's a bit like this is very much like a personal preference, but it feels a bit like you like cam into it, it's not the comfiest.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think I'm going to swap it for one of these lapis jugs, because it's open on the side, but you can still kind of curve your fingers in to hold that first smooth, and then place the toe in. Okay. And I'll do the same for this one. So we've got like a nice, like symmetrical pair.
Matchy. Yeah.
And then I think we could be on. That was exactly it.
Move the hand.
Question is, could you have done that break that you just found? I don't know if Nathan caught it or not, but when you hit this, you just stepped through. Half an hour now of trying these moves and doing loads of little fine-tuning tweaks. We found like a kind of the be all and end all break, and
without kind of escaped on notice. Like you said, I think we got a bit
tunnel vision, wasn't it?
And didn't realise that actually there was a workaround.
And then for us to make that impossible, we're cranking up intensity, complexity, and risk like so much because we have to move so much faster. The body positions are harder to be in, and we have to pull a lot more. Suddenly, our mid-range comp boulder has gone straight up to the top of the grade board. So we need a complete change of concept for this move.
We're starting again.
Not completely, not completely. So we're going to lose this, and instead of having that foot plant as our stop position for the momentum through the move, we're going to spin this one, make it a shoulder, ever so slightly turn that one back, so that we can make our move into it, put our toe hook in, match, and then release the toe and swing out into a double shoulder. And then what we'll do is probably match, put a foot up into the scoop, and then we should be back where we started, back into the top section. Happy with that?
I am happy with that.
Right, let's give it a go. Go on, so jump into the shoulder. Nice, yes, well good. Okay, cool. So, we just need to make sure that that is like forced now. So, I think if we drop the foot, so that when you move into this, your feet are a little bit lower, so you have to like pop into this a bit more. That'd be sick. If we keep the toe hook, you might still be able to like static up to it and then release, and that'd be even better because it's the same move but like a little bit easier.
That will go.
Your shoulder's going now.
That'll go after a bit more.
Nice, cool. Not too bad now. So you can kind of put your toe in. Bounce up.
Nice.
Oh, that's nice. Nicer than it was because you've got that low foot.
Nice. Ooh.
Woo.
Is that closer to?
That's much nicer as like the difficulty level we were going for originally.
Cool. Nice. Come on. Go on. Yeah, George, come on. Yes.
Oh, what about if you bump your right foot up onto this dual text one? You ready? 1, 2, 3. And then it's on you. Release the toe and swing. Or bounce the foot up to you. Swing. Yeah, go on. Nice. Yes. That was all good. Nice one.
Okay. It didn't feel as good as last time. The catch,
It isn't too bunched.
Come on, Nick. Go on.
Come on, Nate.
Yeah,
nice.
Solid, come on. Go on.
Come on, Nate.
Go on. Yes!
Nice, dude. But you might be able to get a bit more reach with you, right? Potentially? Come on. Yeah, come on. That's it. Yes, Hannah, come on. Come on.
Oh, my shoulders.
It's all right, it's only really shouldery all the way to the top now. Go on, really weight that left toe. Push into it. Whoa! What do they say about a weighted foot?
Yeah, I had a bit of an unfortunate foot slip my last attempt, but I think that I've realised now that I need to bring my right hand in. I think I panicked a little. And I also now know that I'm right hand gang on the going up to the first shoulder one. So I'm going to stick with that because that worked. Uh-oh.
Nice, come on. Pull and go. Nice. That's it. Look for the foot. Oh, you didn't need it. Come on. That's it. Come on. Shuffle your hands up.
Come on, Morris, focus.
Smooth.
Oh.
Stay on the right foot and then drop it once you've matched. That's it. Come on, really, really push into your feet.
Ow.
That was really close.
That's progress. So, got 2 boulders on the wall. Mm-hmm. One at kind of intermediate into, I don't know. Yeah, what would you say this grade was?
I would say this is a little bit more than intermediate, not quite expert level.
Okay.
We're in the top half of the grade board without a doubt.
Yeah.
But I think it's one that is quite accessible for most people if they're operating at if they're in hangars and they're operating red level. I think this could be one that's someone that could have a good go at. Mm-hmm. And then the other one is a super commercial blue climb, which is obviously much easier. I think. Which one wins the competition? I don't know, it's hard to compare them, isn't it?
So I think I enjoy both of them, but I think this one pips it for me just because the dynamic movement involved is really fun. And I really like the toe hook too. Yeah,
I mean, it works perfectly, right? This boulder is obviously it's really cool.
Yeah.
The movement's amazing, the holds are obviously sick. So from a personal climbing perspective, I would pick this one.
Okay.
But my headsetter head tells me to think about what is more commercial.
Okay.
The blue is spot on the right difficulty.
Yeah.
It doesn't take up too much space on the wall.
Yeah.
Which from a business point of view is that if you have something that doesn't take up too much space, you get more climbs in, which is a good thing. Yeah. So maybe that wins for how commercial a boulder problem is.
Well,
so
I think we set out at the beginning, didn't we, to create a showpiece pink that was kind of really fun to climb, but also very fun to watch.
Yeah,
and I think
exactly.
That is this. Whereas the blue is very fun to climb, maybe not as fun to watch, not as dramatic, possibly.
Yeah, for sure. But it's the kind of climb that when someone gets on it who say have never done a blue before, they're going to get when they look at that high foothold on the volume, they're going to get a bit of anxiety about it and be oh my gosh, that's the next move. How am I going to do that? And it is going to create some different feelings than a different kind of maybe a more juggy blue might do. So it's still performing the function of being a really good boulder perfectly, I think. It's just not quite as flashy as this one.
No,
and I think that's maybe what's pipped it for both of us.
Yeah, I think so. So I'll leave links to all of George's social media in the description of this video. He has a route setting page, so you can go and check out all the other boulders that he has set. And thank you very much to the climbing hangar, Matchworks this time around, for letting us come in and set. So, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.
I gave him an idea of how hard it should feel. Let's see how he gets on.
Right, I'm going.
Nice, Joe. Smooth as you like.
Yeah. Come on.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Nice, dude. Smooth as you like.